This trading approach combines supply and demand with institutional concepts such as fair value gaps, mitigation blocks, and breaker blocks to create a structured and objective framework. Rather than relying on isolated signals, it is designed to help you understand market intent and build a setup that supports consistency over the long term. Hello, and welcome back to another video here on the ComLucro channel. In this session, we break down how to apply a supply and demand trading strategy using smart money concepts. You will learn how experienced traders locate high-quality zones, align higher and lower time frames, and execute precise entries with clear confirmation, all inside a single, repeatable trading model. So if you like this kind of video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And join the ComLucro community to support the channel and keep improving as a trader. Before we go deeper into the structure of this setup, let us briefly revisit supply and demand zones and clarify how to identify them correctly. In a bullish environment, each time price breaks above a previous high, it creates an unmitigated demand zone linked to the impulse move. In the same way, during a bearish trend, when price breaks below a significant low, it forms an unmitigated supply zone. In simple terms, supply and demand zones are the areas where price launches a strong impulsive move that results in a break of market structure. To mark supply and demand zones accurately, your attention should be on the origin of the impulse that caused the break of structure. This is the precise area where price forcefully moved away. In a bullish case, the last bearish close candle or a sequence of consecutive bearish close candles at the start of the bullish impulse defines the demand zone. In this example, the final two consecutive bearish close candles before the expansion together create an unmitigated demand area. In the same way, in a bearish scenario, the last bullish close candle or a group of consecutive bullish close candles at the start of the bearish expansion defines the supply zone. At this point, you may wonder why price reacts to a demand zone and what drives this behavior psychologically. The explanation is straightforward. In a bullish context, there comes a moment when buying pressure is no longer sufficient to keep pushing price higher, so the market naturally retraces. As price pulls back, it searches for opposing orders to absorb, and while filling the unfilled demand left behind, a shift occurs that leads to a corrective move lower. What truly gives these zones their strength is the fact that they are not random support levels. They represent areas where institutional participants previously entered long positions. These are decisional zones formed before large orders were fully executed. Because of this, they carry significant importance. When price returns to these areas, institutions often re-enter the market to protect or reinforce their positions. Another important factor is that institutions do not deploy their full position at once. Instead, they build positions progressively, usually in multiple phases, especially around areas where their earlier activity is visible. This means part of their original orders remained unfilled during the initial move. When price revisits the zone, it offers a new opportunity to complete those orders. That is precisely why we wait for price to return to these areas. The same reasoning applies in reverse when dealing with supply zones. Now let us step back and look at the broader structure. Everything unfolds through four main phases: the base, the expansion, which can be either a rally or a sell-off, the retracement with mitigation, and finally, the continuation. And this is the most important part. Our attention is always on the continuation phase, because that is where the highest probability trade opportunities appear. This approach is built around two time frames. A higher time frame is used to assess overall market conditions and locate high-quality supply and demand zones. A lower time frame is then used to refine confirmation and execute precise entries. The combinations I recommend are the 1 hour with the 5 minute, or the 4-hour with the 15-minute. You can apply other pairs as well, but the main rule is that your higher time frame must always be at least 2 levels above your execution time frame. Also, remember that supply and demand zones marked on the 4-hour and 1-hour charts are significantly more reliable, and price tends to respect them more consistently. With that in mind, let us now go into the mechanics of this setup and walk through how trades are executed step by step. In a bullish environment, the first requirement is to confirm that the market is trending higher and that buyers remain in control. This confirmation comes from identifying at least 2 consecutive bullish breaks of structure. Once this condition is met, focus on the most recent bullish break of structure. From there, trace price back to the starting point of the bullish expansion, the move that caused the break. That origin is what defines the demand zone. The next step is to mark the most recent unmitigated demand zone on the higher time frame and patiently wait for price to return to it. When price revisits that area, drop down to a lower time frame, such as the 15-minute or 5-minute chart, and watch carefully for reversal signals. This reaction provides your initial confirmation before considering any entry. That confirmation can appear as a market structure shift or a clear change of character. Either one represents your first layer of validation. This shift in market structure indicates that the short-term bearish move is losing strength and that bullish momentum is likely to resume. At this stage, price is expected to realign with the direction of the higher time frame trend. Once bullish structure is confirmed and continuation to the upside becomes the expectation, the focus then turns to finding a long entry. At this point, there are 3 different entry techniques available to open a position, in this case, a buy. Each approach comes with its own advantages and limitations. These include the classic fair value gap model, the mitigation block, and the breaker block. All of these areas tend to behave like magnets, pulling price back into them before the next upward continuation. In the first entry approach, after price reacts to the higher time frame supply or demand zone and creates a market structure shift on the lower time frame, we then look for a bullish fair value gap that forms within the structure shift leg. This becomes the zone for executing the buy on the lower time frame. For profit targets, you can aim for the closest liquidity pool on the current time frame or target key higher time frame levels if your objective is a larger move. In the second entry approach, once price revisits the higher time frame supply or demand zone, the formation of a mitigation block on the lower time frame presents a strong opportunity to enter a long trade. For a bullish mitigation block to develop, price must first form a swing low, followed by a swing high, and then a higher low. From there, price should produce a bullish displacement that closes above the prior swing high, creating a market structure shift. In this situation, the bullish mitigation block is defined by the up-close candle, or a series of up-close candles that appear between the initial swing low and the first swing high. To enter a long position, you can place a buy limit at the highest point of the mitigation block and wait for price to return and activate the order. It's important to note that this differs from a breaker block setup because breaker blocks require the formation of a lower low rather than a higher low. In the third entry method, the focus shifts to identifying a bullish breaker block inside the higher time frame supply or demand zone. For a breaker block to be considered valid, price must first create a swing low, then a swing high, followed by a lower low. After this sequence, an aggressive expansion in the opposite direction should occur, producing a market structure shift. In this case, the up-close candle, or series of up-close candles, located between the first swing low and the swing high, defines the breaker block. This is the area used to execute a long entry. The very same principles apply to bearish entry models. just mirrored in the opposite direction. Now, let us walk through this setup using a real market example to see how everything comes together. On the screen, we have the Euro-Dollar 4-hour chart. As you can see, price is in a clear and well-defined downtrend, with sellers firmly in control. The market has already produced multiple bearish breaks of structure, clearly more than 2, which confirms that the expectation remains to the downside. Because of that, our focus should be on identifying short trade opportunities. The most recent bearish break of structure is located here. If we trace that move back to its origin, we can identify an unmitigated supply zone. In this case, the 3 consecutive up-close candles at the start of the bearish expansion define that supply area. This gives us a fresh supply zone, and this is precisely the zone we want to pay attention to, since it represents an ideal location to look for short entries if price retraces into it. The next step is straightforward. We simply wait for price to return to this 4-hour unmitigated supply zone. Now, let us continue unfolding the chart and see how price reacts from this level. As you can see, price moved higher and tapped directly into the 4-hour supply zone. At this point, all the conditions we were waiting for are aligned. We have a strong downtrend with multiple bearish breaks of structure, a clear break of structure on the 4-hour chart, and a fresh, unmitigated supply zone at the extreme that has now been revisited by price. With everything in place, the next step is to drop down to the 15-minute time frame to observe price behavior inside the 4-hour supply zone and locate a precise short entry. On the 15-minute chart, we can see that after price tapped into the higher time frame supply, it reversed and formed a clear market structure shift. At the same time, a breaker block developed, marked by these 2 down close candles. Pay attention to the sequence. Price initially created a swing high, then a swing low, followed by a higher high. Shortly after that, price sharply reversed and closed below those down close candles. This price action confirms the breaker block and adds a strong layer of confluence for entering a short position. With these confirmations aligned, we can reasonably expect price to revisit the breaker block area before continuing its move towards sell-side liquidity. So here's the execution plan. The entry is placed at the lowest point of the breaker block, with the stop loss positioned a few pips above the higher high. The take profit is set at the sell-side liquidity below the recent swing low, which results in an approximate 4-to-1 risk-to-reward ratio. Now let us continue playing the chart and observe how the trade develops. As shown, the order was activated. After a short drawdown, price reversed direction, moved lower, and ultimately reached the take profit level, exactly as anticipated. Before we wrap up this analysis, it's important to recognize how fair value gaps become significantly more effective when they're used within the correct market context. Throughout this breakdown, we saw how the higher time frame defines directional bias, how key supply and demand zones frame execution, and how the lower time frame provides confirmation and precise entries. But identifying where price could react is only part of the process. The real challenge is understanding which fair value gap carries higher probability and why price reacts to one zone while completely bypassing another. To make this clearer, I'm going to show a short quip that illustrates how price interacts with fair value gaps across multiple time frames, and how market structure and liquidity guide better entry selection. This clip reinforces the logic behind the trading plan we just mapped out, and shows how the same principles repeat consistently across different market conditions. Let's take a look. In this video, you will learn how price behaves around order blocks and fair value gaps on different time frames, how to identify which zone carries the highest probability in each scenario, and how inefficiency and liquidity voids influence entry precision. You will also see how changes in character and structural shifts guide the selection of the best entry method. These insights form a practical decision-making blueprint that helps you avoid unnecessary refinement, improve your hit rate, and stay aligned with the true behavior of price as it moves between liquidity pools and mitigation zones. So let us begin. As you already know, order blocks and fair value gaps are two zones that smart money traders rely on when setting their entries in the market. Still, many traders struggle to understand which of these areas carries the stronger probability and is more likely to be respected by price. In this example, the market reacts to the higher time frame order block, but ignores the lower time frame one. This reveals an important insight. When price repeatedly fails to reach your entry, it often means the setup has been refined more than necessary. This clip reinforces a simple core idea. Entries only work when they align with market structure, direction, and liquidity. When these elements are clear, it becomes easier to judge whether price will react, continue deeper, or ignore a zone. Traders who align structure, liquidity, and execution consistently choose higher probability entries and avoid losses caused by poor context or over-refinement. Please also remember that our mission here on the ComLucro channel is to give traders the clarity and confidence they need to make smarter decisions in the market. Every video, every course, and every piece of content we create has one clear purpose: to deliver practical, easy-to-apply knowledge that helps you grow step by step as a trader. Here on the channel, you'll find complete courses on smart money concepts, technical analysis for day traders, and trading psychology. Because trading isn't just about charts, it's also about mindset, discipline, and risk management. We also share lessons and insights from some of the most respected names in trading, professionals like David Paul, Alexander Elder, Tom Hugard, Mark Douglas, Al Brooks, Larry Williams, and many others whose experience has shaped the way we understand the markets today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a like. It really helps more traders discover our content. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest insights and strategies. If you'd like to go even deeper and access exclusive content, early video releases, and additional tools to support your development, consider joining the ComLucro trader community right here on YouTube. It's a simple way to support our work and a smart investment in your own growth as a trader. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.